And hello, everybody. This is MJ Hernandez here, your host of This Is A's Weekly, the only show that covers your Oakland athletics for the Baseball Podcast Network. And today we will discuss a few things like going over the current bullpen crisis, going over players that I think that should go, best off-season additions, and much more. And before I start off the show today, I would like to thank the Baseball Podcast Network for giving me this chance in basically showing my potential and what I know, and hopefully you guys enjoy it as much as I will enjoy this experience. Thank you again for the Baseball Podcast Network, and this is Oakland A's talk that we are going to get ready to go with today. The Oakland A's have a 31-31 record. They are third currently in the AL West division and are looking to bounce back into wild card picture, I guess, if you want to call it that way. We are playing the second place AL West team, which is the Texas Rangers, having a 32-28 record themselves. Tip-off is going to start off, or not tip-off, first pitch is going to start off at 4:05, and we are going to be looking into having all that set out for you guys. The pitching matchup is Brett Anderson today with 3.95 ERA versus Lance Lynn, who has a 4.50 ERA. So that matchup's going to be good. A good couple of bets. And the Oakland Athletics seem to be putting themselves back into playoff contention, or at least having a little good glimpse of it. Before having that 10-game winning streak, they did get slowed down after a good series with the Los Angeles Angels and the sweeping of the Houston Astros. The A's had that 5-game losing streak and looked to rebound from that with the last series going 2-1 against the Los Angeles Angels, now looking to cover some ground with Texas. So I guess the first topic that we can go over is the current bullpen crisis. This bullpen, which was supposed to be set up to be a really, really good one, is turning to be a pretty big problem for this team. Let's go over the first person, Lou Trivino, who has a 4.26 ERA, 3.97 FIP, and 31.5 innings pitched. Trivino is a love-hate story so far, because we all know that Trivino, at least the people that really follow the A's and the people who really love and really breed out green and gold baseball, know that Lou Trivino could be and has the potential of being one of the better bullpen arms in baseball. And he is really struggling at this moment. The big struggle was in the Los Angeles series that we just had and we just finished up. The Grossman pop-up catch that he didn't quite make, that cost Lou Trivino a couple runs. Trivino, other than that, has been looking good in the last 3 runs. I think he went scoreless last game, and he is looking to bounce back from that. He dropped his 4.50 ERA starting the Los Angeles series down to a 4.26. So a couple of good outings would do him good for this case. And let's go to the second piece, Soria, a 5.28 ERA with a 3.28 FIP. Those really don't balance out. So I guess Soria, you can consider having a little bit of the worst luck out of anybody else in the bullpen. I think Soria has the potential in being a great pitcher for the Oakland Athletics in the second half, and it's still just for the remaining of the first half as well. But Soria has the walking issue. He has allowed a lot of walks this year so far, and I think he just is inconsistent. And that's when we first acquired Soria, I was going over with some people that follow the Oakland Athletics as well. How good was Soria with the previous teams? With Milwaukee last year, he really did phenomenally well, and with the White Sox as well. But for me, Soria had that issue in being consistent, being the pitcher that we thought we were going to get has not come out yet, in my opinion. Soria can be a lot better. He can be a lot more productive if we do allow him to get that good groove. Now, Soria can give up a good amount of hits. That's the type of pitcher that we knew we were going to get. He draws a lot of contact, doesn't really do too much of the ground ball type, not ground ball, the homer type issue that we see a lot of this relievers such as Petit. He does not give up a lot of long balls, but he does get in a lot of hard contact, and that is something that just goes 50-50. And I guess adjustment could be well seen for Soria, but other than that, I think Soria needs to bounce back and needs to start pitching a little more aggressively. You can see him getting a little nervous in certain situations. Hopefully he can turn things around, but he's probably one of the bigger concerns in the bullpen due to the fact that he is getting paid a good amount of money to be in the green and gold this season. And I hope that he turns things around, because him and Trevino have been linked in since the beginning of the season, one of the most important arms for the bullpen. Trevino going last year a lot of innings, a lot of innings, and that is something that we can be surprised on. The usage of Lou Trevino last year was insane. We remember last year Lou Trevino going 2 innings at least in before the acquisition of Juris Familia, which was very much needed. They needed another arm, another person that has the potential in pitching great in games, and we remember the importance of Lou Trevino way before the acquisition of Juris Familia, and having that third option was great, and that's what Soria was supposed to be this season, the third option for Lou Trevino and Blake Trinan, and that was something that we obviously miss and love of Juris Familia. Good luck with the New York Mets. I do not know how he's doing, but really great pitcher and overall great guy. So the next part of the bullpen crisis, Ryan Buckner. Ryan Buckner, before the call-up of Wei Chung Wang, he has been the lone left-handed piece for the Oakland Athletics for a good amount of time now. Last year, he only had Danny Coulombe, who was the other left-handed, who was considered a left-handed specialist in many regards, but he was the only guy. And after he got let go, Buckner really embraced that role of being the only left-handed piece. And now you guys got the situation with Wong, who has done incredible in my opinion. But Buckner really looked shaky with the Angels. He was brought in the middle of the game when it was a situation. I forgot who was it. I think it was Hendricks, who left the bases loaded, needed one more out to finish the inning, and he gives up a walk to a left-handed hitter, which is supposed to be a specialty in any given situation, which was Ohtani. And he looked shaky. He looked shaky out there, and hopefully Ryan Buckner can really start figuring things out, start understanding his role with the Oakland Athletics, and start coming in and doing mostly everything that we need him to do. He's going to be a very important part. Hopefully Wong is legit and is not just an early bust, in my opinion. Wong can cover in a lot of ground, and if Wong pitches as well as he's been doing, only has not allowed a run in 6 innings and 6 innings and a half, Buckner can have some competition coming in. Wong so far hasn't allowed a run, like I said, has a 2.25 FIP, so that means he doesn't really draw in much attention on base. And we saw him yesterday for the first time pitching, not yesterday, 2 days ago, pitching with people on base, and he really pitched tremendously well with people on base, and he fought Mike Trout. He did with Ohtani, with Pujols, did tremendously well. Much props to Wong, but back to Buckner, 3.8 4.86 ERA with a 4.54 FIP. This guy needs to start pitching better. He got the demotion early in the year, which was a really, if you were to tell me that in the beginning of the year, I thought Buckner was one of our more consistent pieces in the bullpen. But this guy, I mean, he got demoted, and only lasted quite a while, because I think that's when Wendelken got demoted as well, and then Buckner got called back up. So that, to me, is going to be an important factor for this bullpen, especially since he's one of the few lefties out there. And we have to understand this: the Oakland A's are not going to be left-handed dominant in any sorts of pitching, whether it be starting rotation-wise or relief-wise. In the future, maybe starting rotation-wise because of Luzardo and Puck and Sean Manaea coming in, and if we keep Brett Anderson, but bullpen wise, it's Wong and Buckner. There's no one else that can come in this spot that are left-handed. All the good pitching prospects, the relief wise, are mostly right-handed, unless I'm forgetting somebody. But most of them are right-handed dominant. And this is the only left-handed we got. But let's compare the numbers from last year to this year. So this thing with the Oakland A's, when we see what the potential was last year, obviously going 90+ wins last year was very, very, very big of a surprise for us. And one of the main things was the bullpen. This is why I'm bringing up this situation early on into the show, to try to get the attention of our listeners out here. The bullpen last year was incredible. Treinen going 0.78 in ERA and 1.82 FIP last year. That is PlayStation type numbers right there. That is really, really good. One of the best closers in the game last year, had 100+ Ks, and one of the few relievers that did that. And I think it was only him and Edwin Diaz that did that last year, if I'm not mistaken. So Treinen did tremendously well last year, and this year he has a 3.26 ERA, 3.97 FIP. So Treinen, he is still pitching pretty good. The sinker still has movement. He has that 97+ fastball, and he just pitches. He pitches pretty good, but I don't know. It's just the confidence is not there, and the bullpen is one of those things where or at least so far, our bullpen, at least, when one guy is going down, that momentum brings everybody else down. And that seems like it's really bothering Treinen a lot. I don't know if it's the overusage of last year. I don't know if it's the overusage for Trevino as well from last year, because Trevino last year had a 2.92 ERA last year, and he was just lights out. Even with Soria. Soria last year had a sub-3 ERA. So that was something that really confused some of the people that are A's fans. And this is just something that was really, 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 really mind-screwing in a way, because we were depending on this bullpen. And these guys are, the good thing about these guys are they are veterans, and they have the potential in turning things around really quick, and that's one thing. I mean, Treinen has 5+ years of playing in the MLB. Soria as well, Petit as well, Buckner too, and the only new guy that I can probably think of is Lou Trevino in this regard, because last year was his rookie year, but he pitches like he's a vet, pitching as much as he did last year. So that they have guys that have been there, done that. And that's the one hope that I see for the bullpen. It's really just seeing out and being patient and hoping that things can go together well. I really think an acquisition would do great for this team, whether it be a star reliever or just a guy that can be consistent and do good things in a blink of an eye. They don't necessarily need a flamethrower, because Treinen, Trevino, they throw 95+. Having those two power arms, they just need someone to get the outs. kind of like a Sean Kelly. That's why I really was bummed out that Texas picked up Sean Kelly, because Sean Kelly was one of those bets that just balanced everything out, in my opinion. I mean, and I love the Familia acquisition, but Sean Kelly really came in